Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at the final episode of this season of Tales of Zestiria, the X, episode 12. So, I have a lot of issues with this episode. This episode is probably one of the weaker episodes of Tales, and that's a shame because this is the last episode until season 2, which is, has been announced that they're going to do a second part to it. But why would it end the way it did? Why do we have what is kind of a big shift from the game in general? I mean, even if you're not a fan of the game, this episode was kind of weak in a lot of places. I'm going to start off by saying, of course, though, I'm going to be reviewing the whole series with this actual review, of course, so I'm only got the one image up. I'm going to talk about episode 12 a little bit. I'm going to talk about the whole series overall, though, my thoughts of it, and gave a final score to the whole season. So, here's the thing. Number one, I don't mind adaptations. I tell this all the time in my videos. I don't mind, seeing changes and altercations to it, or alterations, excuse me. That's the right word I'm looking for. By the way, I'll tell you guys right now, I'm running off of like 2 hours of sleep, so I do apologize if I sound kind of weird sometimes, but, I don't mind alterations to a storyline and adaptations. There's nothing wrong with that per se. I feel that, in many ways, having something not follow exactly what its source material is based off of is a good idea. If you read a manga, it's a 13-volume manga, and then they make a 25-episode anime series, I would prefer, this is me though, I prefer to not have it being exactly what I just read, because I want to enjoy something that's slightly different. So this way I'm kind of not so used to what's going on. And Tales of Zestiria the X did a good job of doing that, where we had a lot of differences from the game, and that's a good thing because a lot of those adaptations and kind of changes really did work in its favor. Up to, I think, the last several episodes. I think the last several episodes have been kind of a hit or miss thing. Namely, though, I really have issues with this episode. It really kind of dropped the score quite considerably for me. There was only one really good moment, is that my favorite girl, Alisha. Come on. Put in the comments below. I want to hear your comments. Tell me, who's your favorite girl out of the two, Rose or Alisha? Because I'm all for Alisha. I love Alisha. I think she is the coolest girl out of the whole group. She in the game did not get any screen time. Like, I mean, she's there for maybe the first couple hours and then gone for the rest of the game. And I was always kind of pissed off about that. Here we have Alisha actually becoming Soray's squire before anything else. I know in the game, of course, she did become the squire, so I don't want people in the comments go, oh no, she was the first squire, and I know why. I'm not going to spoil it for the game, of course, if you do plan on playing the game. But he couldn't stay squire with her because of certain events that happened. But I love how they did it. I think it was really cute how they did it in the anime, and I love the fact that it just shows they look like they have an actual chance of being together. Because honestly, like I said, Alicia's favorite girl, she's amazing. Come on, best girl ever. Really, who doesn't like Alisha? Rose is not bad. I'm not saying Rose is bad. I'm just saying I like Alisha more than Rose. I don't care. Anyways, though, skipping that though, the Lord of Calamity fight in this was something I was really looking forward to, because in the game it had a lot of tension. It had a lot of kind of, I want to say moments that you really thought, oh my god, Saray might die in that part. And in the anime, it wasn't done very well. It was actually very, very fast of a fight. They try to make some kind of moments of, tension. It really wasn't any tension. I think they really kind of dropped the ball with this fight during the Lord of Calamity and Saray. It was so much more different in the actual game, where Rose had to come in and save them. And it was my only complaint. I mean, I know, like I just said before, I don't want to be a hypocrite of myself, but in this sense, I think they could have really just, beyond just being a fan of the game, I think they could have made it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more tension-provoking. It's this, what we have here is essentially a quick fight that doesn't end, of course, with Saray winning. It's just more so a kind of draw because he leaves him. It just shows how powerful he is. So really, Saray could be seen as losing the fight. But he's okay for the most part. He takes care of Alicia's wounds and stuff in the anime. And then they kind of part ways, where Rose now is joining his party because Alisha has to go back to Lady Lake to kind of deal with the stuff in her territory. But honestly, it just wasn't that great of an episode. I think it was a lot weaker than what we were used to on Tales. It felt kind of rushed, I want to say, in many ways. I don't know if you guys and girls agree with me on that, but I felt like it was a little rushed. I really think they kind of want to set up something for the second season, so I'm curious what they're going to do with it. Now, the whole series overall, the story was very good. I mean, even if you're not playing the games and you're not a fan of the kind of source material it's based off of, I understood the story. It has no real issues. It's not perfect here and there, but it has great moments that have in the story overall. Animation-wise, very solid. I think Ufotable really, that's the best thing about Ufotable in my opinion, is the animation. You could see it in the quality. You know, the CGI in the beginning was a little bit weaker, but as the story picked up and as we saw more episodes, it looks like they really started pouring money into the CGI, so it got way, way better. So honestly, I have no issue with the animation. I think it's just really, really well done. Voice acting wise, I like all the voice acting for this. I'm actually used to playing Tales of Zestiria, the game, in English dub. I didn't really read or listen to the Japanese dub for it. This is awesome. This was really, really well done. I really like the characters. I felt like they all really matched what they needed to do. I believe most of them, if not all of them, are returning from the game, so that's pretty cool too also. Overall, you know, my enjoyment factor of this is I thought it was okay. I think it could have been a little bit stronger. You know, I'm not saying that I'm expecting super greatness from Ufotable. I expect them to do their own thing, of course, because like I think a lot of people right always say, oh, you know, Fate Zero being so amazing that this should be amazing too. Those are two different things entirely. So realistically, you cannot expect the same kind of level of detail or level of storytelling. I mean, they're two different shows entirely. That's why if I had to review Tales of Zestiria the X, with given the kind of issues it have and stuff like that, anywhere from an A through F, of course, I'm going to have to say a solid B. I'm going to go the B route with this. You know, it had its moments where it was a little weaker. I think that last episode was really bad for a last episode for the season. But overall, I really enjoyed the show. I think a lot of people out there will enjoy it too. So I'm not saying that this is a bad show or not to check it out. B is a very respectable score, so definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it already. Even if you're not a fan of the game, you can watch this on its own. You don't really need a source material for it. Anyways, guys and girls, that's it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize if I kind of started my words a little bit or anything like that. Again, very little. I was asleep, but I had to get this out to you. Anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you later. Until our paths cross again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.